Hi guys, I hope you're good. You're joining me on a very wet morning in Kensal Green. I waved goodbye to Jasmine and set off. Hopefully I will make it all the way back to my moorings today. It is thrashing down, so I am recording everything on my phone today. This is day 3 of my cruise back from Uxbridge Boat Centre, where I blacked my boat. Yesterday we barely made any progress due to weeds and rubbish caught around the propeller, so we need to make up a lot of lost time today. But I can already feel the propeller being weighed down by more weeds. My friend Mike is helping me cruise back, and he's pointing out loads of things because he grew up in this area. For example, this building used to be Virgin Records, and they paid to have this bridge built across the canal for their staff. We admire this very Venetian looking house, and then notice the sign in the window. Each to their own. I seriously need to pull over now and clear the propeller, so I make a cheeky stop under this bridge. We moored next to fellow boat tuber Jasmine last night, and she told us that the weeds were bad as far as Paddington, so I'm hopeful this will be one of the last stops we have to make to do this. Stopping under the bridge meant we stayed relatively dry, and also Mike used to spend a lot of time here when he was growing up, and I wanted to get a few photos for him. I wasn't in the best of moods when we set off. I was quite tired, and we left our dry clothes under an open window and they got soaked overnight in the rain. Also, this is the longest time I've had somebody else on my boat, and it's a bit intense. Good thing I kinda like him. And I like this tiny tubby boat. The water has cleared up so well now. We don't have to contend with the weed hatch again. Here are some of the prizes we won down there. We've just met a really nice viewer, and now we're approaching Little Venice. We're coming up to the Maida Hill Tunnel now. I steer us through and give Mike a commentary of what I'm doing. This will definitely be the most involved day for boat handling instruction, but so far he has done really well. Mike and I work together. I'm one of his managers, and his role is to train people to drive trains, so it'll be interesting to see him taking on the role of the student. Soon after Maida Hill Tunnel is another much shorter tunnel, which I think really is more a big bridge. So I get my trainee to steer us through. Perfect. He is a natural. We're coming past Regent's Park now. This is Corinthian Villa, one of 6 villas in the park that were all designed by the same architect. And that's London Zoo there. And we passed someone else silly enough to be out in the rain. This boat is being pushed by a tug. Once we go under this bridge, we need to make a sharp left turn. It's interesting having to think about everything I would do with the steering and the throttle and how best to explain that to someone else. Before we set off, I made sure we spoke about how Mike likes to learn, and it seems to be working because he got us round the bend, no trouble. Passing that boat with the fire roaring made me envious. I was really looking forward to making it home and getting warm and dry. Oh, look at this boat. My crewmate was almost evicted when he told me that he doesn't know who Serafina Pecola is. And we are now at our first of 13 locks for the day. And waiting to go into the second one. There are 3 in this particular flight. I'm being extra careful on the ladders in the rain. The boat's drifting away from me. I tried to pull it back, but it's not working, so come up and start again. With more experienced crew, I would stay on board, but I want to teach him how to do everything as if he were a single-hander, because once he buys his own boat, he's not going to have anyone there to hold his hand. Mike goes ahead and sets the 3rd lock for me, so I can drive straight in. And it's not long until the next lock at St Pancras. I think we could both do with the barbershop boat, but at the time of filming, hairdressers were still closed because of lockdown. I do really like those lifeboats. This is Word on the Water, it's the floating bookshop. I love that boat, that's my favourite colour. We're coming up to the Islington tunnel now. I've already told Mike that I won't be letting him drive through the tunnel. It's 960 yards long, it's not straight, and not something I would recommend to someone who's only spent a few hours on a boat. But when we get to the tunnel entrance, I drop the speed right down and hand him the tiller. Honestly, he is a natural at boat handling, and I trust him to get us through safely. He had 1 or 2 very small bumps, but I know boaters with years of experience who would have done a much worse job and dread coming through here. I think he's handled it absolutely fantastically.
You're a boat boy now.
I am a very proud teacher. We're coming up to our next lock now. I must remember to turn my navigation light off. A tip for tunnels, which I forgot to do, is turn all of your interior lights on when you go through, just to make it a bit easier to see. Also, a light at the stern is really helpful too. We're waiting to go down the next lock now. This is the one I got trapped in for over an hour on my way to Uxbridge. It did take both of us to open one gate because it is so heavy, but we managed it, and I'm getting Mike to drive the boat in by himself. I'm really looking forward to getting home. I love cruising, but the last few days have cemented for me that I would never want to be a continuous cruiser. Don't get me wrong, I've got massive respect for people who do it, but it was such a pain travelling all the way to Uxbridge every day for the last couple of weeks. I like having a base and being able to walk to work from my moorings. And it was so noisy on the towpath the last 2 nights. Maybe we were just unlucky. This is Old Ford Lock on the Regent's Canal. It's dry and sunny now and I feel great. We need to take a hard left turn onto the Hertford Union Canal. We didn't manage it in one go, so we needed to use a bit of reverse. And it's just something that I feel and I do instinctively, and it was quite difficult to explain that. So I need to find a better way to communicate that. The Hertford Union is only a mile long, and then we'll be back on the River Lee. We're waiting to go into the top lock. There are 3 locks on this canal. The second one is almost flooded. There was water coming over the sides onto the towpath. But we made it through, no problem. And here we are in the bottom lock. We turn right onto the River Lee. We are in the other old Ford lock now. This is lock 12 of 13, and windlass is away because this and the last one are electric.
Yep. Okay, perfect.
We breeze through. It feels really good to almost be back. But also, I'll be sad when the trip's over. I've had the best time. I never want this feeling to end. We've turned left now onto St Thomas's Creek. This journey has changed me. I hit my lowest point in boat life and was ready to walk away. But with the help of some good people, I picked myself up and pushed on. We made it through City Mill Lock and onto 3 Mills River. And after being away for 3 weeks, cruising 55 miles, 28 locks, 2 boat breakdowns, 1 Lorna breakdown, 1 deer rescue, and a mountain of weed, I have finally made it home. I'm too tired to speak. How long did we do today?
It's 6:15 now. What time did we leave?
Got 7:15. It's not bad going for the distance that we did. But thank you so much for coming. Did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, it's I've learnt a lot over the last 3 days.
Are you still bonkers enough to want your own boat?
Yeah.
That was a real baptism of fire, and I think the way that you coped with everything and just got on with it, I think if you decide to do it, you would be perfect for boat life.
Yeah, I mean, I was impressed that you had your belief in me to let me drive it. Yeah, so that was, so thank you for being brave enough for me to do that.
No, but you're willing to learn and you listen to the feedback. Your way of learning suits my way of shouting at you and telling you what to do. Okay, we're exhausted. I think we have definitely earned some more cake and a rest.
Chocolate cake.
This is the only type, yeah. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all again very, very soon. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.